Natalie Gonzalez from Synergy Health and Wellness here. I'm going to be doing a 40-day challenge. So a 40-day challenge, I'm going to challenge myself. Any of you who want to join along can try it with me, and we can kind of see how everybody's doing and who's making some progress and who's really struggling with it and why. And I think it kind of helps to recognize that it's one thing to tell somebody how to do things and live things in a healthy way, but it's another thing to try to do it day in and day out in your life. And that's what I really want to get across in some of these videos, is that it is darn hard sometimes. I just went on a vacation, very lengthy vacation just recently, of just over 2.5 months, almost 3 months. And I went out of the country, and both of those things, the length of time and being out of the country, presented some huge challenges for me in maintaining the kind of healthy lifestyle that I like to try to maintain. And the first thing was that the food was very, very different. And in many ways, I was able to find some really healthy foods for the time that I was there. And in other ways, I was more challenged. And so I'll talk about that a little bit in these next 40 days, some of the things that I learned there and that I have brought back with me, because they're really good things. And we were in the Dominican Republic. The people were absolutely beautiful and wonderful. And we really had an incredible time there. So in these next 40 days, the reason I'm doing this is because I've gotten back. I've been back for 22 days now, and I have yet to be able to get back on the regular kinds of things that I normally do to be healthy. I start out one day and I might make it one day, and then the next day I'm confronted with pizza and a number of other processed foods that are really hard on my body anyway. So I want to just talk a little bit about that. I've had a hard time getting back into my exercise routine. I've been doing it 3 full days in a row now. I did 3 things, one each day, but that's been hard. And even during the time that I was gone, the 2.5 months, I did a little bit, but very little. And so I'm really in a kind of a deconditioned state from what I would like to be. So movement and exercise is one of the things I'm going to be focusing on in the 40 days. Sleep is out of whack, and sleep just gets that way when you're traveling and being in new areas. But it's a major thing for my health, and I notice a lot of problems all around with my mental capacity, my thinking, my being able to function without being irritable, and just my immune system being more inflamed, or just having more pain everywhere when I don't sleep well. So sleep is one of those things in the next 40 days. Relationships, that's my husband mostly, and the people that I'm around. And those are going really well for me right now. We do weekly phone calls with my family, Zoom calls, and just in touch with everybody who's important to me all the time. So, but that's always relationships are part of your health. We'll talk about that a little. And I missed one, stress. Oh, no wonder. Stress is actually my mountain. I have a really difficult time with stress, and I've lived with it for so many years, so long, that it's really hard for me to unwind. And it was my New Year's resolution last year, and I had to repeat that resolution this year because I needed even, I might have made a few percent points progress on it, but not very much. So it's right up there at the top of these next 40 days. And so I'm going to try to check in each day, and even if it's just a recap at the end of the day, I'll do that and try to make it really consistent. I'm not good at consistency. You would think I would be, being a surgeon, but I have to struggle with that. And at one point, I had a friend who had a lot of OCD. It was actually my late husband and friend, who had OCD as part of his illness before he passed away. And at one point in time, I tried to make myself do something. In fact, in that case, it was trying to complete tasks throughout my day without moving on to the next task, without completing the one I was just on, to keep my life more organized like he did. And I could not last 24 hours doing that. It was so hard, but so stressful for me to try to change the way I am, which is a tendency to be more on the more relaxed side. I am a perfectionist in so many ways, and I just feel like I have to have other ways to let go of that because it's not healthy for me. So, being obsessive compulsive about anything, including posting every day, is going to be really hard for me. But I'm learning to work with the technology, which has been a struggle these last few years, to really work with the technology so that I'm a little bit more efficient with it. And so maybe I can be pretty consistent with this for 40 days in a row and let you know how things are going. And I don't know how it's going to go. I was going to set the rules and say, well, if I get off track for one day, then I start over again on the 40 days. I'm not sure that I'm going to do it that way. I need to make a commitment for it, I know, but that might be too stressful. And stress is my big thing that I work on, unfortunately, I shouldn't say that, but that I am focusing on all of the time. So it's one of those things that I need to just back off on some days and let go of it. So we'll talk about that too. All those major parts of the lifestyle. It's going to be a 40-day challenge, and I'd love for any of you to follow along and tell me how you're doing and what you're struggling with, and whether you're going to start over at the beginning when you get off track for one day. But I think sometimes getting off track is part of the process. And just like I tell everybody, we're in it for the long haul. We're in training for our life here. So let's see what we can do in the next 40 days. If you've gotten off track and you just want to try to get your health routine so that you're feeling better, do it with us. Okay, talk to you later.